Every single day, trucks roll off dealer lots with big discounts and even bigger promises. But here's the thing nobody tells you. When a dealer starts dropping the price, that's not generosity. That's a warning sign. A truck sitting on the lot isn't always a deal waiting to happen. Sometimes it's a signal. Thousands of real buyers who researched, compared, and test drove multiple options walked away. They saw something, and they voted with their feet. We tracked dealer inventory data across the top 20 pickup models for the past 18 months. We looked at average days on lot, incentive levels, and buyer satisfaction scores. The results were eye-opening. These are the 7 trucks that are piling up at dealerships right now. And before you take one home just because the price looks right, you need to understand exactly why everyone else passed. Dealers don't discount trucks people actually want. When a hot truck hits the lot, it's gone in days, sometimes hours. When inventory stacks up past 60 days, the industry's healthy threshold, it means something went wrong. Either the price is too high for what you get, the product disappointed buyers who drove it, or the competition simply offers more value for the money. Any one of these is a problem. All 3 together is a disaster. Here are 7 trucks giving off that signal right now. Number 7. The Ford Ranger Base Trim. The Ranger is not a bad truck. Let's be clear about that up front. But the base L trim is creating serious buyer confusion in the market right now. The starting price looks attractive on paper. Then the options start stacking. Tow package, upgraded safety systems, a proper infotainment setup that does not feel like it belongs in a 2015 rental car. By the time you add what you actually need to make the Ranger usable, you are spending Bronco Sport money. And at that point, buyers start asking a very reasonable question. Why am I paying this much for a smaller truck when I can get something with more capability for the same money? Dealer stock on base Rangers has climbed above a 90-day supply in several major U.S. markets. That is 50% above the healthy threshold. Ford has responded with incentives, but the core problem remains. The base Ranger is priced for what it promises, not for what it actually delivers without options. If you want a Ranger, and there are good reasons to want one, the mid-spec XLT is the sweet spot. The base XL trim is a pricing trap, and the market has figured that out. Number 6. The Chevrolet Colorado ZR2. Let's talk about a truck that does everything it promises and still can't sell. The ZR2 is a genuinely impressive off-road machine. Multimatic DSSV dampers, locking front and rear differentials, real capability on real trails. Nobody questions what it can do. The problem is the price tag has completely disconnected from the buyer it is built for. At over $58,000, the Colorado ZR2 pushes directly into full-size Silverado Trail Boss territory. Think about that for a moment. You are paying mid-size money, and in some configurations, full-size money, for a truck with a smaller bed, a smaller engine, and a smaller towing capacity. The buyer who wants serious off-road performance looks at the ZR2 and then looks at the Ranger Raptor. The buyer who needs daily versatility looks at the ZR2 and then looks at the Silverado. In both cases, they walk. ZR2 sales numbers have been declining quarter over quarter for the past year. Dealers that could not keep them in stock 18 months ago are now sitting on them for 80 to 90 days. Great truck, catastrophically wrong price. The market does not forgive that combination. Number 5. The Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. The TRD Pro used to be one of the fastest moving trucks in Toyota's entire lineup. Buyers waited months for allocation. Dealers charged markups with zero apology. That era is over, and the shift happened faster than anyone expected. The combination of factors working against it right now is significant. First, the new twin-turbo V6 powertrain has reliability concerns that Toyota hasn't fully resolved in public perception, regardless of whether the actual fix rate has improved. Perception in the truck market is everything, and right now, the perception is damaged. Second, the TRD Pro now starts above $67,000. At that price, you're buying into premium performance expectations. But buyers who've done the testing say the Fox shock absorbers, which are a major selling point for the TRD Pro, don't dramatically outperform the base suspension in real-world trail conditions. Not enough to justify the price gap between trims. Third, and this is the number that tells the whole story, Toyota's own transaction data shows TRD Pro average selling time has increased by 40% compared to 2 years ago. Trucks that used to sell in under a week are now sitting for weeks. The TRD Pro badge still means something. It just doesn't mean $67,000 worth of something in today's market. Number 4. The GMC Hummer EV pickup. This one is genuinely painful to include, because as a piece of engineering, the Hummer EV is extraordinary. 9,000 pounds of electric towing capacity, crab walk mode, watts to freedom launch control that launches 4 tons of truck to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds. The technology is real, the performance is real, the capability is real. But at a starting price of $98,000, and with a real-world towing range that collapses to around 150 to 170 miles when you are actually using it to tow, the market has delivered its verdict. The 2-year waitlist that existed at launch? Gone. Dealer inventory is high. Prices are softening. What was once a trophy truck that required connections to even order is now a truck you can walk onto a lot and buy today. The problem is not the Hummer EV itself. The problem is that electric truck buyers have learned what the real ownership experience looks like. And right now, range anxiety on a $98,000 truck is not something buyers are willing to accept. Until the charging infrastructure and real-world range close the gap with what gas trucks offer, the Hummer EV's price is impossible to justify for most buyers. Number 3. The Ram 1500 TRX, 702 supercharged horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. In a production pickup truck you can buy at your local dealer. That number is not a typo, and it is genuinely spectacular. But here is what nobody puts in the headline. At $95,000 base price, with fuel economy that averages around 10 miles per gallon combined, the TRX is one of the most expensive vehicles to own in the entire truck segment. TRX owners driving average annual mileage are spending approximately $4,200 per year on fuel alone. That's before insurance, which runs significantly higher on a $95,000 performance truck. Before the inevitable tire costs on a truck that makes 702 horsepower. Before any service. The performance community that drove initial TRX demand has cooled, largely because the Ford Raptor R delivers comparable real-world performance at a lower price point with better everyday manners. Dealers that were adding $20,000 in markups to TRX trucks just 2 years ago are now offering incentives to move inventory. The TRX is one of the greatest performance pickups ever built. It's just stopped being a smart financial decision in a market that has more options. Number 2. The Jeep Gladiator Mojave. The Mojave trim was supposed to be the version of the Gladiator that finally gave it a clear identity. Desert racing-inspired suspension, upgraded Fox shocks, high-clearance steel front bumper, a specific purpose, finally. It sounds like Jeep finally figured out what the Gladiator is for. But the Mojave starts above $52,000. And here's the brutal reality. In actual desert performance comparisons, not marketing materials, actual testing, the Mojave can't match what a base Ford Raptor or a Ranger Raptor delivers at a similar price point. The Raptor's suspension travel is greater. The Raptor's tuning is more sophisticated, and the Raptor does not carry the Gladiator's fundamental size and weight handicap on challenging terrain. Dealer data shows the Mojave is currently one of the slowest moving trim levels in the entire mid-size truck segment. Buyers who want genuine desert performance go to Ford. Buyers who want a capable, comfortable daily driver go somewhere else too. The Mojave carved out a market position between two better options and priced itself above both. That's the worst place a truck can be. Number 1. The Nissan Titan XD. Pull up to any Nissan dealer right now and you will find Titan XDs. Lots of them, sitting there, waiting. This truck deserves a moment of genuine reflection because what's happening to the Titan XD isn't a product failure in the traditional sense. It's a positioning failure, a strategic mistake that the data has been confirming for years. Nissan positioned the XD as a bridge truck, something between a half-ton and a heavy-duty. The pitch was logical. If you need more than a Ram 1500 but don't want the size and cost of a Ram 2500, the Titan XD is for you. The problem is that buyers don't actually think this way. When someone needs more capability, they buy more capability. They go to the Ram 2500 or the Silverado HD. They don't settle for something in between. And when someone wants a comfortable, efficient daily driver with good capability, they buy the Ram 1500 or the F-150. They don't need the in-between either. The XD got squeezed from both sides simultaneously. Too small to compete with real heavy-duty trucks, too trucky to compete with the comfort and efficiency of modern half-tons. Nissan has essentially stopped developing the platform. No confirmed refresh. No significant updates in the pipeline. The Titan XD currently averages over 120 days on dealer lots before selling. That's nearly double the industry average. This isn't a truck the market rejected in a moment of bad timing. This is a truck the market has consistently, repeatedly, quietly walked past for years. And in the truck business, that's the hardest kind of failure to come back from. A truck sitting on a lot is not always a deal. Sometimes it's a warning that thousands of informed buyers already passed on. Pay attention to that signal. The best truck for you isn't the one with the biggest discount. It's the one that cost you the least over 5 years of ownership. Do the math before you sign anything. Subscribe. Every week we break down the trucks that the data actually supports, not the ones with the best marketing, the ones with the best real-world numbers. Next week, we are covering the trucks that are quietly saving their owners thousands, while their competitors drain wallets dry. That one is worth watching before you make any decision.